what would you tell yourself? If you would go back to 20 years old, Manning, if you can go back and say one thing to that person.
A lot of people like ask me that question. You know, this is the old, what would you tell your younger self and
Yeah.
stuff? And I mean, I always say my first thing to that is that I am the person I am because of the decisions and the experiences that I had. So it is kind of hard to say because I know it now because of my experiences. So it's easy to say that. And I don't know if I'd be the person I am today if I didn't go through what I did. So if I told that 20-year-old what I know now, maybe he wouldn't become the person that I am.
But if you were to only be able to say one thing, not lay out the playbook.
Yeah.
No cheating. You get like a whisper. You know, you get to like pop in, give a quick like one line, and then you're out.
Read. Get into reading earlier. I got into reading late, and I probably accelerated my career, my relationships, everything because I started like diving into people that were way more successful than me. And I get emotional about it because if I would have done that earlier, then imagine I'd probably be a billionaire right now, you know? Or I could have impacted people in a better way. And I could have like some relationships that I lost, maybe I would have had them because I would have read that book that would have helped me handle that situation, you know? So definitely, like if you're out there,
like that.
start reading now, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's
I don't
great.
know where the hell the emotion came from. But
No,
happens when there's a mic.
but that's real.
That's good.
That's real.
I would say we were talking today, having the hard conversations. I feel like for me, I just always put those off. And they eventually come up. They always come up eventually. It's like living with the stress. I have one hard conversation I have to have right now. It's like, why am I putting it off? Why am I putting it off? And it's pointless. It's going to happen. You got to do it. Ripping off the Band-Aid.
Conflict, man.
Ripping off the Band-Aid. Conflict's good.
Conflict is
Conflict
good. There's
is
so
good.
many people. I had a really close guy just recently sitting right there just break down that he avoids conflict and he hates confrontation.
It comes back.
I don't think anyone likes confrontation.
It comes back,
but it comes
twofold,
back.
threefold, tenfold.
Well, but I would say I would frame it though. I think that maybe not liking it, but knowing that the confrontation and getting through it is what makes you better. Like because like, have you ever read The Advantage?
No.
So it's Patrick Lencioni's book on like kind of a company culture, and it talks about like don't have the water cooler moments where you're everybody's like talking about
I've
each
heard
other
about
and
this.
not going to the person, And I think that in those moments is when you get through it, and it's like it's so refreshing to just tell somebody how you feel, man.
Yeah.
Like if someone, and it could be the littlest thing. Like you ever, you have like these pet peeves, like with your friends or partners.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like they're doing that all the time. It drives you freaking nuts. Tell them.
Yeah.
Maybe they could be caught instead of it driving you crazy.
Yes.
And then you don't want to hang out with the person. You might literally end a relationship because of something that maybe they would be willing to change for you, but you didn't speak up.
I love that. Mike, or a 20-year-old version.
Oh. Yeah, don't take myself too seriously because everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. That's mine.
Is it?
Mine is always just go back and say it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's it. And I still do that to myself. Like ever since I've like said that's what I would say to myself. Even when it was a tough time or a tough conversation or going into a tough conversation, like it's coming, you get like that feeling in your stomach. I just kind of say like it's gonna be all right. Because it always is. It always is. So at least so far. As long as I don't die.
Because the reality is, and have you read the book The Power of Now?
Power
I have.
now.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Put it on your so put it on your list now. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, because there is no yesterday and there is no future. And when we start worrying, we're thinking about the future, but it's never like that. There's only now. And so if in the now moment, if you're not only executing, but you tell yourself it's going to be okay, you better believe the next moment it's going to be okay. Even if it's hard, it's still not like it's never as bad as the fear that we have in our mind. It isn't,
Yeah, I always framed it as like there's no sense to worry. Like, why am I worrying?
Worrying is praying for things that we don't want.
Exactly.
You ever heard that? Never heard that? Yeah, you're manifesting the worst of it because you're focused on it.
Yeah.
And most of the time, like you said, it never happens as bad as you think that it could happen. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
My old therapist would say, if you had a hard conversation and you feel a massive like sigh of relief after, you had it too late. You should say you had it too late. You should feel a little sense of relief and keep it moving. But if it's a massive like, oh, a weight off your shoulders. She said, much too late.
Yeah, you had emotional build
Yeah,
up.
you
then
had
from
much
it.
too late.
Yeah.
And that's like, so I always try to say like, am I going to have like a lot of relief or a little relief? If you're a little relief, I'll do it now because I can foresee like that's going to be a big conversation down the road. Let's just do it now. And it's important to get ahead of it because, and as founders and entrepreneurs, it's almost your job to have hard conversations. All day I'm having
All the
hard
time.
conversations. Like my text hard conversations.
You're holding people accountable constantly. You're
constantly doing
reminding
it.
people constantly.
It's very mature for a 29-year-old. But you're almost 30.
Hey,
You're almost 30.
I'm 30 on Monday. Come on.
Dirty 30. You're a baby. He's a baby.
Yeah.
Literally.
100%.
You have a lot of maturity though for your age. So.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure,
it's because I think I started business young. I didn't do the school route,
Yeah.
which part of me regrets. I feel like it would have been a good time, but my parents didn't have money and I didn't want to pay for it, so that didn't pan out. So like, you know,
You get a 200.
You always go back.
I love it. Yeah, I think the same thing because I dropped out of school at 14. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have went to school because
I
that would
wish
have been
I
a good
wish I had
time.
the party.
Like,
Yeah,
it
you know,
would've been a good
sometimes
time.
like I bet that
What's-
Lucas guy.
There's a
yesterday,
movie,
you know?
right, where like the old guy goes back.
He goes,
to school.
yeah, I would like, I'd do it.
I did.
Yeah?
No, I
You
did.
went back?
Yeah, well, I went to. Yeah, I got my 3 years ago. I went back and got my 1-year certificate for my director certification because I'm a governance expert. And
Okay.
we had one of my portfolio companies. We took it public, and I was the chairman of the board of the public company. And I know governance well and board leadership well, but I was like, well, I think I should go. And I went back to university, and I didn't have any of the prerequisites you didn't need for this course. But a year there, and I graduated, so I got myself a cap and gown.
Yeah,
I did. Ordered on Amazon. Put a social post out. My still to this day the most viral social post. I was like
Wow.
after 30 years of dropping out, I went back to school.
That's
and,
awesome.
That's gangster.
That's great.
People were stoked
That's
for me.
gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
What's
I
that
just
movie
no
that everybody
school.
goes,
I wish I
Will
did.
Ferrell movie that everybody goes back to school.
Oh, shit.
It's funny as
Yeah,
shit.
I know what you're talking
They
about.
throw the frat party, you know.
Yeah.
I would die to just give me one frat party. Let me
know,
be the
right?
guy.
I never had that.
Let me be the
Founders
guy.
frat party.
Founders
Yeah, honestly, we should.
Coming to ASU.
That's a frat guy. You know, I just, yeah, you know, I missed it. But yeah, I feel like I just been in it. You know, like when I was, 19, I started a juice business, and like it was kind of like a joke, not a joke, but it was like, I was making like 2-3K a month. And then like halfway through it, my dad like has a stroke. There's no family income now, and it's like, holy shit, this like we need to save the family. And we were doing 20-hour shifts. I still got my toothbrush in the back of the first store. We had a blow up mattress. Me and my brothers rotating 20 hours sleeping, opening, juicing at night, smoothies.
Wow.
Like and that was at 18 years old. Most 18-year-olds are like, what college did you get into? And I'm like, saving my family. Like, so I was forced.
That
I
makes
was-
you grow up really fast.
yeah, you were forced to grow up. I didn't have. I mean, I think you always have a choice, but I didn't see another way out. Neither did my brother. My brother's playing professional hockey. He quit to come back and do this juice thing with us because like it was literally like, bro, like we're gonna be on the street. Like we opened our first store with no cash register and no credit card machine. You had to bring perfect cash. I had a Ziploc bag. Obviously, we didn't know this. None of us worked in a restaurant. This is. I wish I had a video of this. You'd come into the store. We'd have juices and like whatever smoothies and stuff. Let's say you have a $20 bill because we didn't accept anything else, and your total was like $11. We didn't have a cash register, so I'd look at you and be like, "Why don't you take another juice?" Like we had to have exact change. That's how crazy it was.
But I used to do that early on in
That's
the
a good
gym
upsell.
business.
Yeah,
Looking
we
back,
got no
it was
change.
genius. Looking back, it was
Yeah.
genius.
I used to do the same crap in the because they would like pull out a 20 and they were just trying to buy a water for $2,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "You want 5?"
the case is 25, but why don't you
Or
take it
10,
for 20?
actually.
Yeah,
My math is
and that's what it was.
Yeah.
You just figure it out. You burn the boats. We've all heard. I played hockey for a while. That was like any playoff game. Coach was like, we don't come back in this room unless we win. Otherwise, get dressed and unchanged in your car and go home. And it was like that mentality. It's like there's only one way through this, and you grow up really quick. Entrepreneurship ages you. I aged like in dog years, like it was really bad. I was 35 pounds less than I am right now. My
Wait, what?
my hairline was in the back of my head.
35 pounds less than you are
Less.
now. That's
yeah,
like a
35
stick.
pounds.
Yeah, that's what he
I was
was. He
100.
was. He
I
was
was
like,
100.
I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm 185 now. I was like 150 pounds.
Wow.
155. It was my hairline was in the back of my head.
You wouldn't have been
was-
sitting here at that time saying, "You look like you got it. You're the whole package.
Yeah,
You're feeling
no,
good.
no.
Dude.
He's come a long way.
Yeah, you're looking like you're ragged.
Dude, I was playing hockey at 150. It's dangerous. I don't know how I didn't get injured. And I mean, I didn't know any better.
Right.
You know, so you learn the hard way in your youth. So now it's like looking back, you know, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary, and I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, 29, I celebrated 10-year anniversary of my first business. It's kind of crazy.
That's wild.